You're welcome back to Sunday Breakfast right here on ChannelOne TV with me, Eno Safo, and Jude Duncan. So we're going into our health segment. We're talking about influenza. If you remember, within the week or earlier on this month, the Ghana Health Service made a release that there's seasonal influenza. What is seasonal influenza all about? We're going to have that discussion with Dr. Dorcas Osei-Pukusaki. She's a specialist general surgeon with the Bank Hospital. Doc, you're welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing this Sunday?
I'm doing great.
We've dragged you from your services unfortunately here. Yeah. I hope you're well, though.
I'm good.
What should you have ordinarily been doing on a Sunday morning like this?
So by now, I would have been in the hospital reviewing my patients.
Sunday morning?
Yes.
So you don't do like anything outside that?
Sunday, after that, I go to church when I finish reviewing them. So basically, that's all.
How does that work? So you go in the morning, very early in the morning?
Very early in the morning by 7:30.
You go and review them?
Yeah.
Then you go back home?
I go back home.
And go and get ready for church?
I actually dress up for church, so after review, I just go.
You just go?
Yeah.
Wow. Such dedication to the call. They say medicine is a calling.
Yes.
And if you've not been called, you can't practice it.
Sometimes it gets tough.
Really?
Yeah.
How tough is it being a medical doctor in Ghana?
Oh, this question. Well, you have to battle a lot of things, you know. You have to, first of all, see the patient, make sure you attend to their needs. You have to personally also deal with the emotional things and demands that come with it. I mean, it's not easy breaking bad news to your patients. It's not easy seeing a patient die. Yes, and sometimes you work long hours. You don't have time for the family, you know, it's really stressful.
We'll come to the question or the conversation on influenza, and just permit me a bit. You know, what is that one thing, and it's a very common thing people share on social media, I just want to put you on the spot because I now like doing that. You know, what was that one thing your patient said to you that stuck with you? Be it a patient who needed serious help or was on the final breath?
Well, there's one thing I actually get is their satisfaction when like they are really happy with the service you've given them. I mean, I've had patients call me like 5 years later or 10 years later saying, "Oh, doc, we are really happy how you treated me and all that." And it's something that, you know, keeps me moving, and it's a joy to see them that they are happy that you did your best for them. Yeah.
Did anybody say something that, you know, was emotionally
Oh, you just said,
triggering?
Doctor, if it wasn't for you, I would have died. I mean, I was like, oh no, that's not me. It's just God.
The care comes from you. And the healing comes from God.
God does
And the healing comes from God.
I love that.
Okay,
Right,
Doc, let me read the Ghana Health Service alert that they issued.
Sure.
And it says, increasing seasonal influenza cases in Ghana. The Ministry of Health, through the Ghana Health Service, wishes to inform the public that Ghana is currently experiencing an increasing case of seasonal influenza in certain parts of the country. The cases have been confirmed as influenza A strains H3N2 and H1N1, which are part of the seasonal flu viruses. The high cases have been reported in the Greater Accra region, Central, Bono, and Eastern regions. It must be noted that these high reported cases coincide with Ghana's annual flu season, which peaks during the cooler months. The symptoms of seasonal flu include sudden onset of fever, cough, sore throat, runny nose, body aches, headache, fatigue. The spread is mainly through respiratory droplets from an infected person, coughing, sneezing, talking, and touching contaminated surfaces. High-risk settings are crowded environments such as schools, dormitories, transport hubs, and markets for rapid spread. And it goes on, who is at risk? Children and adolescents, especially with schools in session, the elderly, pregnant women, people with chronic illnesses, example, asthma, diabetes, heart disease. And it tells us what we should do. 1, seek medical care early. 2, stay home when unwell. 3, practice good hygiene. 4, avoid crowded places. 5, use a face mask when in crowded places. And the health system response, that's what the GHS are doing. Enhanced surveillance and rapid diagnostic testing at health facilities. Updated case management protocols, public education, coordination with regional health directorates to ensure timely response. The Ministry of Health, through the Ghana Health Service, assures the public that all necessary measures are being taken to contain these high flu cases, and the cooperation of stakeholders are vital in protecting yourself, your family, and your community. And it's signed by the Acting Director General, Dr. Samuel Kaba. All right, I think my first question is what's Kria's influenza?
Yeah, so
And the seasonal flu. What is that?
Yeah, so influenza virus is a virus actually, yes. It tends to affect our respiratory tract. Yes, just a brief history. It was first noticed somewhere in 1918, just around the First World War, when there was a major pandemic that had happened, and almost about 50 million people died at that time. After that, there have been some efforts to try to curtail it through research, try to find vaccines, treatment modalities, and all that. So over the years, there has been 4 more consecutive pandemics that has happened, and the recent one happened somewhere in 1968, where a lot of the patients got it, and most of the patients were patients who had not been previously exposed to the first 4 pandemics because they hadn't built some form of immunity to it. Yes. Subsequently, there have been some vaccines that have been produced for influenza A viruses. We have our children usually being vaccinated with influenza B vaccines when they are young, and with time, there has been seasonal episodes of the influenza viruses. So the influenza viruses, we have A, B, C, and D. The A actually causes the most serious disease. The influenza A also has some subtypes. Okay, so we have subtype H1N1, and we have subtype H3N2. So just to clarify what it is, the H and an N are just surface antigens, which is on the virus. So you have the H, hemagglutinin, which actually helps the virus enter your cell. Then it goes into your cell and it replicates itself. Then the N helps it to exit the cell. And when it exits, it's able to infect another cell, and it continues like that. So that's basically how the virus works. And it's unfortunate that it usually comes when the weather is very cold, very high humidity. People tend to easily get, runny nose, sore throats and all that. And whenever they sneeze, they cough, it tends to spread. Or whenever they touch these droplets and touch surfaces and contaminates them, then you have them spreading the disease across, yes. So, influenza viruses too could be found in birds and also in pigs. So sometimes they tend to lay dormant in these animals, and seasonally it comes out because there have been some cross-contamination with a human, and it has that when the virus develops an ability to be able to infect a human, then it continues to spread from person to person. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. So seasonal meaning it comes
yes,
like particular time, but this time it's hot. It's not cold.
But there's high humidity. Yes. Even though it's hot, it's hot in the morning. Some days exactly, and it rains a lot. So yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Is there a particular group of people who are most likely to be affected?
Yes. So mostly the very elderly people and the very young ones, because their immune system haven't yet been built. The young ones, their immune system are not strong enough yet. The elderly too, as you age, at about 65 onwards, your immune system tends to go down further. Right. So it puts them at a high risk of getting it, yes.
Interesting. I see symptoms behind you. I see fever, cough, sore throat, runny nose, but muscle ache?
Yes, you get cramps.
In your muscles?
In your muscles.
And that means you're getting the flu?
So it's not, it's a sign that you are getting, because it's like your respiratory tract helps you to get oxygen to all the parts of your body, including your muscle, to be able to work. Without oxygen, your muscle is not able to produce what we call ATP, enough energy to be able to let it work. And that would lead to your muscles feeling that crampiness, yes. So.
Interesting. About the other ones, so sore throat.
Sore throat, yeah. So basically, because it goes into your respiratory tract, infects the cells. So it basically causes your cells to not work as it should. So it becomes like a sore, like you have like a wound inside your tract. So right from your nose down to your trachea, down to your lungs. So it tends to cause like a sore within your throat. That's where you feel the sore throat.
So this is basically, is it similar to the cold? Because I feel like the symptoms are the common cold.
So it's very similar to how common cold appears.
Right.
It's just that in some people, it may be so bad, they develop like pneumonias, you know, that they will need even sometimes oxygen support to be able to help them to breathe well. Yeah.
And how long typically does, you know, influenza last?
Yes.
If untreated, or even if you're being treated.
So if untreated, you know, every disease has its disease history. So some may get better within about a week or two, because probably their immune system, it's okay. If not, it keeps on progressing to severe upper respiratory tract infection. It could worsen on to a lower respiratory tract infection, that's pneumonias. Pneumonias too can get complicated, you know. You can have other superimposed infections with bacterial sources, and you could develop lung abscesses, pleural effusion, that's water forming around your lungs, and it could get worse and worse and worse.
Wow.
And the worst thing is death, yes.
You know, you're saying something, you want to complete it. You want
to so the worst thing is you could die from that.
Wow, that's interesting.
Wow.
You say, you know, certain groups of people are more susceptible to this than others.
Yes, I mean, definitely. Anything that reduces the people who have immune system that are compromised, okay? So if you have, I said, the very young ones, their immune system are not well developed, the elderly, those people who have, even with the regular young ones, if we are stressed, you know, stress tends to reduce your immunity level. You could be put at risk. Those who have any immunosuppressed medications that they are taking, steroids, chemo drugs, you know, all those people are at high risk of developing it. Yes, so these are most.
How about the elderly?
Obviously. The elderly, exactly. Their immune system is not strong.
How is it spread? So
it's spread mainly through droplets. If an infected person coughs or is just talking.
Talking?
Yeah, just talking, yes. Or sneezing. Or has, like, it touches the secretions and
this is giving me COVID vibes.
Yeah,
so
it's exactly like, exactly,
yeah.
Is it different from COVID? For example, is COVID-19 a form of influenza? So
COVID-19 is also a virus on its own. It's not an influenza virus. It's a different type of virus. But its symptoms is very similar to the influenza because it causes this flu-like symptoms. Yes, so it's very similar.
The fever, the
runny nose, cough, sneezing. Yes,
and so fever is like the malaria.
Exactly.
Kind of
Exactly.
Doc, you mentioned H1N1.
Yes.
If my mind serves me correctly, is that not what we call swine flu?
Yes, it's called swine flu because it is known to have developed from pigs. Yes.
So that means the pigs can...
Yes, the pigs can be infected with H1N1. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Then it's serious.
It is. It is.
So we shouldn't eat pork?
Oh, no. Please enjoy your pork. Please enjoy your pork. I mean, although, yes, it can. You know, the disease has to evolve. Even though it came from pigs, it had to evolve in a way that it could infect humans.
Okay. And
it had to evolve in a way that even though it has infected one human, it should be able to move from one human to the other.
Right.
So it may be a similar strain, but it might have been something that's another strain that has evolved to be able to infect humans.
And will you say that the kind of weather conditions we face here also makes us more prone?
Yeah, it does. And it's also it's worse in the temperate zones too.
Yeah, because
yes, in the US and
in areas where are generally colder.
Cold, exactly. High humidity and all that.
Yeah, because I remember going back to the research that was done on COVID, for example, and we all saw the high morbidity rates compared here.
Yes.
So is that to say that influenza and the likes thrive in more colder area?
Yes, it does. Because, you know, in such, I mean, your nostrils, has what we call some mucous membranes. So in such weather, it tends to secrete a lot more fluids. And I mean, it's through those droplets that come from our speaking, our sneezing, and all that, that makes the disease spread. So usually in very cold environment, high humidity environment, you tend to have that, I mean, being a very conducive environment for the virus to thrive. So that's why it's very common.
The sun, you know, we complain about, you know, but it has its added benefits, right?
Yes.
Wow, interesting.
Doc, let's talk about, you know, treatment options available when you get influenza. I know most of us, sometimes when we have a headache, we just enter into like a pharmacy and say, and all of that. Is that the right way to go?
Exactly. So, I mean, and the other mistake people do is immediately they get it, they go and get antibiotics, isn't it? But it's not caused by a bacteria. So when you use an antibiotic, it wouldn't do anything to it. Probably when it is superimposed with a bacterial infection, then when you use that, it would die down the bacterial infection. But apart from that, the viruses continue to thrive. But there are some antiviral agents that are used, but that one is only available in the hospital, where the doctor would investigate and confirm truly that you have an influenza virus. Then they would use it. And the antiviral agents just works to block these receptors I talked about, the surface proteins, the H1 and the N1, so that it doesn't even bind to your cells, because it's when it binds into your cells and goes into your cells helps it to replicate, helps it to, divide into a number of viruses and then comes out and infects others. But whenever the antiviruses are given, it tends to block these points and prevent the spread, yes.
So the only solution is for you to come to the
hospital? Just
hospital?
come to the hospital, be investigated, then you get your treatment. Yeah. But most people are able to, for majority of the patient, they don't actually need the antiviral agent. It tends to die off with time within about 2 weeks. Yes.
Is there a possibility of maybe the strain of a particular influenza changing every season, or are they all the same strains?
So it could change. So the previous pandemics that happened, the first one was H1N1, then subsequently became H2N2, then it became H3N3. But currently what we have in Ghana now is H1N1 and H3N3 N2. It could change with time. However, most of the time the seasonal ones, it's just the same viruses reappearing, re-emerging again to cause the infection.
And can they, so for the medication or the vaccine that's available, they can decide that, oh, I've seen this one before, I won't work?
Yes. So definitely, if the antiviral, the vaccine that has been created was from an H1N1 strain, then you would have to, when you meet an H3N2 strain, you definitely get infected from that. Yeah.
What myths or do you often hear about flus?
Oh, flus. Well, they'll go like, oh, antibiotics, just get your antibiotics, you'll be fine. Some would use a lot of herbal medications, try to treat it, say that, oh, it would go. Unfortunately, some of the kids too, they tend to have their parents putting a lot of things in the nose, try to either pull out flares
Don't
or
let
trying
them
to
be
heal.
chewing,
Exactly,
nutrients
so
and
many things. I mean, I don't have any data on that.
Advice. No, oh no.
It
No, I
maybe
know
works
households.
from people's experience,
Please,
but
They'll boil them and then
Like-
cover you with a cloth that you should
nutrients.
inhale it.
Charlie, you have to stop that. No, you have to
Yes,
tell the
yes.
African mothers to
Oh,
Ghanaian
but
mothers
you know,
to.
I mean, I don't always
To chew
completely
dandelion and-
refute
oh,
herbal.
Charlie.
I mean, if they can actually come up with scientific research to state and clinically like show us the results, you know.
So it's also
But that's
transmitted.
different.
It's transmitted through sexual intercourse, right?
No.
So if
I mean, not because of the sexual act, but because you came in contact with the fluids, the droplets from the respiratory tract.
Oh, okay. So, okay. Yeah, but my question was like, so for example, if you are with somebody and very close to the person,
Yes.
sweat and all
So
of that.
not sweat, droplets from the respiratory tract.
So nose,
So
mouth.
nose, mouth. So if it's kissing,
If you kiss
yes,
the
definitely,
person in the process, then-
yes.
So not necessarily sex, but
Yes,
the
yes,
Interesting.
exactly.
So that means, or should I say, there's another myth. Is it true that healthy people can get influenza?
Yes, you
They
can.
can.
Yeah, you can.
You just need to get in contact
In
with the
contact
droplets.
with the person, yes. You know.
Can nose masks help?
Yeah, it does. It does because I mean, because the nostrils have sizes, you know, your nose mask is able to block the nostrils and the viruses. So it's actually advised that if you go into a crowded environment, you put on your nose mask.
You know, and there are people who, for example, say that they are immune to this because they are probably like very fit or they gym and they have like other protein supplement and things they take. Is that correct?
So the thing is, your immune system has to be optimal, you know, and there are certain things that you can do to optimize it. So exercise, for one, helps boost your immune system. Eating fruits and vegetables helps to boost your immunity. Drinking enough water, make sure you are not dehydrated, also helps to boost your immunity. I mean, so if you are someone who does all this, not that you will not get it at all, but your risk of getting it will be much lower than someone who is not doing
And there are
all that.
people who
Do good food take any part? Or
Yeah,
does
good food, yes.
Also
Good,
your diet, right?
good nutrition, yes.
There are people who sit in their air condition 2/4/7. From
Yeah.
their cars to their offices
In
to
a
their
closed
homes,
environment,
all the
yeah,
time.
yes.
You don't advise that, right?
No, because you are creating that conducive environment for the viruses to actually infect you. Yes, because it's a very high humid environment, and unfortunately, for a lot of these spaces, they are never aerated for fresh air to come in. So it tends to cause. So if someone enters, coughs in that same space, the viruses are left there, and you are at risk of getting it.
Doc, you mentioned good nutrition. Any specifics?
So fruits, vegetables, yes. So any foods that has high dense vitamins to help boost the immune system, yes.
How long is someone with the flu or someone who has the flu, how long does it typically take?
Typically, yes, usually 2 to 3 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah. 2 to 3 weeks.
And you should be resting.
You should be
during these-
resting, taking
in
enough fluids. And
If
they
you
are
have a
saying when
job.
you have a disease, stay home. Like
It's not possible.
yeah, it's difficult. But unfortunately, that's the only way we can break that cycle
Yeah.
of its
Or
spreading.
other than that,
If
you
not,
spread it.
You spread it easily.
It becomes a
yes.
I remember multi-spreader event. Oh, Charlie, we had this before. Oh God.
And it's very common in the children, the kids, the school, because like when someone is sick, doesn't stay home, it just comes. You know, the kids too, they're all playing, shouting, running
imagine.
around.
There are people who suffer from what they call like sinuses, right?
Yeah.
Like they are
Always having-
nasal, you know,
Yes.
is always in constant
congested.
war.
Yes.
You know, it's fighting their body.
Exactly.
You know, are they number one, more susceptible to it?
Yes.
Is it also an effect of maybe previous instances of having the influenza?
Yeah.
And for people like that, how can they specifically manage it?
Yeah. So for patients like that, they are likely to be having what we call allergic rhinitis. So like they have allergies to certain things in their environment, which they've not really taken note of. So anytime they go, it tends to irritate the respiratory tract. Then whenever the respiratory tract is irritated, it causes what we call an inflammation. That means that the cells get swollen. If you actually to look at it, get reddened, it secretes more fluid. And that fluid environment, you know, causes, it's like, I don't know, it's like the viruses are swimming in soup or something like that. Like,
no, because I remember
this is where we thrive.
I'm allergic to so many things in the atmosphere. It irritates my nose.
Exactly.
Like even the makeup, when they put powder on, my nose starts twitching.
Yeah.
you know, I remember
crazy.
in Accra Academy, right, and I went to a very good school, right?
Oh Lord.
Oh no.
I'll tell you a story about cracker later.
Oh, there was some. there was something. Oh, no. You know, you look like association.
Finish your question.
Yeah, so I went to a very good school. I went to Accra Academy, and you know, there was this time, like one of my friends, you know, a colleague, dorm mate. Every time he goes to the bathroom and comes back, you know, we can't sleep.
Wow.
Especially like after prep. So after prep, they used to force us to bath because you know what I'm talking about. Charlie, when he goes and comes back in the dorm, nobody will sleep.
Why?
For the next like 15 to 20, he's just doing that. He's closing his ear. He's doing
The nose.
It was a mess, and you know, I really felt for him because it was. And it will later turn out that there were some soaps in there that he was reacting to. You know, for a whole, so we left the school, we had to stop using specific soaps in the place because of him. You know, and it took my mind back to him. And I'm imagining somebody like that having to also deal with influenza, right? So he's having sinus, he's having that whole thing, and now sore throat, and now like runny nose, and now it could be a lot, right?
It could be a
so
lot.
for him like that, what's the way forward? All that you've said.
Yes.
And then he has to, are there specific medications to take to deal with that?
So for allergic rhinitis, the basic thing is to find the source of the allergen. Yes, and deal with it. Because there's no amount of medication. I mean, definitely there are some medications you can use to reduce the reaction to the allergen. But the key thing is find the source of the allergen. Is it powder? Is it spray? Is it a certain perfume? You know, the person should just look and deal with it.
Somebody wants to find out right now, he's watching the show, he says, can the influenza degenerate into a more severe condition like asthma? No.
So asthma is a totally different disease. It's a different, it's part of diagnosis.
Altogether.
Yes.
But you say if you have asthma, for example, this could aggravate.
Yes, it could trigger it. If you get any respiratory infection, it can trigger asthma, including influenza virus.
Doc, let's talk about the vaccines. When is the best time to get it? And then demystify it, because you know Ghanaians have a perception about vaccinations.
Yes, so there's usually a seasonal, usually the Ghana Health Service would announce when the vaccines are available and when you can get it. So, I mean, in the US, usually they do it almost every year. When it's about to happen, then everyone, they will announce, come for your vaccine. So the moment you hear the Ghana Health Service has announced that, we have a vaccine for this influenza virus, come and get it. You try and get it. Because most of the time, the vaccines are programmed to be disease specific for the virus that is within that season. So it's always good to get it when it's announced so that you try to prevent yourself from
and then demystify the taking of the vaccines. Right? Because people have all these perceptions about vaccines.
Oh, maybe government
making you sterile.
Exactly. No, it doesn't do that. So what the vaccine does actually, it tries to mimic a weak form of the infection in your body. So that it trains your immune system how to react. It's like the military being given some drills, like to try and know, if an enemy attacks at this point, this is how you are supposed to act. So it kind of trains the body and makes the body produce what we call like templates, ways to deal with this particular virus. So the moment the actual virus comes in, automatically it has already been programmed to deal with it, then it deals with it. It has nothing to do with sterility. Yes, definitely some, there are some side effects you may have. Initial injection, you may have some fever or chills. In very rare occasion, people who have very serious complications. But so far, most of the vaccines that have been in Ghana, I've not really heard of such complications that has happened. So whenever you need to take the vaccine, please do, because it could be your one chance to prevent a very serious influenza virus infection. Yeah.
All right.
Dr. Dorcas Saki.
Yes.
No, you did form. Oh, you be, you know, and you know, your specialty is what?
General surgery.
General surgery.
Yeah, I'm a general surgeon.
You're a general surgeon.
Yeah.
And also,
I have interest in public health related issues.
Public health and security.
Safety.
You know, I for enroll you in the, you know, I for enroll you in the Ghana Army.
Yeah.
Yeah. I for give you Major General. No, you did form. But thank you so much.
Welcome.
And I'm waiting for my cracker.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Guys, that's what time will allow us for a really insightful health conversation on influenza. She demystified the myth. She dismantled the stereotypes, right? All in a bid to ensure that we are all safe. So guys, spread a message out there. If you missed any part of this really important conversation, you can log on to YouTube ChannelOne TV. The full interview will be there, so you could re-watch if you missed any part.